This is question number 3 of Unit 4, January 2024. The photograph shows a Canadian lynx and a hare. This is the lynx and this is the hare. So from this picture we can see that uh, lynx is a predator and it's a food for him. Okay, so let's move on to the question C. What's there for us? The lynx is a type of cat and is a predator of the hare. Graph 1 shows the changes in the number of lynx from 1845 to 1894. Okay. So this is the number of lynx in 10 to the power cube, and this is year. In 1863, there were 1,50,000 hare. Calculate how many times more hares were there than lynx. Okay. So the number of lynx in 18, well, we first need to figure out the number of lynx in 1863. Okay, this is 1855, so this is 1860, 61, 62, 63. Okay, 63. So the point is this. Okay, so the number of lynx is, if you divide hare by lynx, so we get the answer. So this is the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Graph 2 shows part of graph 1. Sketch a line on graph 2 to show the likely changes in the number of hairs from 1855 to 1880. So the question says that we need to sketch a line graph in this graph 2 to show the likely changes. Like it does not needs to be absolutely accurate. Okay, so we just need to figure the predicted answer of this question, like likely changes. Okay, a predicted one. Okay, so let's see. So this is the number of pattern of the lynx. So the hairs would be always greater because they are the foods of the lynx and they are being eaten by the lynx. Okay, so they must be greater in number and it should follow a similar trend. Okay, the number of lynx actually control the number of hare because they are the predator, and if they increases, the number of lynx will also increase and they will hunt them, they'll hunt them and they'll eat them, which will ultimately decrease its number. So this is a predicted graph for the number of hare. Explain the changes in the number of lynx and hares. So let me discuss it for a few minutes. Like what happened, the changes we can see over here is that when the number of the hairs decreases, the number of the lynx also decreases because there is less food. We can say that when the lynx eats more of the hairs, the number of it also decreases because they are being eaten, they are being predated. Then what can be the reason for the hairs to have lower number is that their birth rate, like the number of hairs are not being born as much as they are killed. So this can be the reasons. So this can be the changes in the number of lynx and the hares. So let's say the answer. So the number of lynx decreases as they die due to starvation. Number of hares increases when they are reproduced. The number of hares decreases as they are killed or eaten. Changes in numbers are staggered as it takes time for starvation birds and hunting process. Now let's go to the next question. In many ecosystems, the relationship between one predator species and one prey species is less predictable. So the true reasons why this relationship is not always predictable. It is not always predictable because no, the predator can have more number of prey. Okay, they are influenced by their food source or the types. The number of predator are influenced by their own predator. Okay, like the predator have a predator, so the number of their depends on the number of their own predator, and it can happen due to some diseases, some natural disaster, lack of water. Okay, so now let's say the answer. The number of prey are influenced by their food source or other type of predator. A predator may have more than one prey, like more than one species of food, which is their prey. The number of predator are influenced by their predators. Lack of water, migration, global warming, that can be a factor which can be a reason for this. Okay, this is enough for 2 mark questions. So this is the end of question 3. See you in question 4.